Hey guys, what's up? This is Eric with Jim Andes. I'm going to talk to you today about something that we all know, especially as travelers, but yet it's good to have a reminder. And I hope you guys appreciate what I go through for this site, because yesterday I forgot my license while I was driving here in Chile, and that was interesting because the policemen, first off, you should know that the policemen are very, very kind here. I've never met a really mean policeman. So that is something to be appreciated. They're very polite, and they're very much the gentlemen, especially with ladies, and they demand a lot of respect from people. So just keep that in mind. And when I couldn't find my license, I thought I had it on me, but I didn't. The policeman was very nice. He let me get out and look around the car for it because I thought maybe it had fallen out of my pocket. And then he took me inside and he asked me all the questions that I had no answers to. What my Chilean identity number was, where my passport was, or my passport number was, which I didn't have that on me either. So I didn't have anything for him. And he let me sit down in the office, and he asked me my name 50 times because, as being a foreigner, it's hard, for them to understand some of our last names, just like it's hard for us to understand some of their last names. And then I had to explain the not having two last names, which was a difficulty. And after all of this, he was kind enough to let me return to my house, get my wallet and my license, and come back and show it to him. And when I did that, he let me go. From time to time, the policemen make routine stops for vehicles. So if you're driving a vehicle, a rented car, if you happen to be here long enough to buy one, it's good to make sure that you always have your identity and your driver's license on you. It's kind of weird. It's nice that he let me return, but that's not the norm. You'll usually get a fine for that, and when you get a fine here, the fines are complicated because if they give you a ticket, it's easier. You know you have the ticket, but sometimes you don't know how quickly you should pay them, and if you don't pay them within a few days, sometimes you get an interest accrued. So something that literally was only $6-7, because I've seen some fines of like $2,500 or something like that, which would be about $6 or $7, or yeah, something like that. And then with the interest, it becomes $100 or so. So that's very important to keep in mind. And even though the policemen are very polite and they're gentlemen and things, they generally don't let you get your license. So it just happened that they trusted me, and that I had told them all the information, where I live and all that kind of stuff, that they let me go home, get my information, and come back. But if you don't want to spend a lot of time in the office trying to explain what's going on, if you don't want to get a fine, make sure you have your documentation. He asked me about everything about my Chilean identity number, because I told him that I had residency here and I didn't know that. He asked me my passport number, I didn't have that. And another important thing to know is that even though I gave him my last name, my full name, the systems here with foreigners aren't so great. So even if you're registered here, you are probably going to have a hard time to have them find you in the system, especially if it's a temporary residency or anything like that. Even if you've registered with international police, all that kind of stuff, only certain offices will really see that information in their system. The rest of them just don't show up for them. So we exist and we have to follow all those laws, but we don't exist when it becomes necessary to use it. So that's just kind of one of the difficulties of being here to some degree. And this post, I guess, really, I should say, is more for people who are going to be here for some time. But it's good to know. Make sure you always have your information on you. Make sure, my suggestion personally is to make sure that you get an international driving permit, and that you also have your passport on you at all times. And if not your passport, a copy of it at least. Something that looks official, that is a copy of an official document, and says, look, I am here legally, I'm not anybody doing anything wrong. So those are just something to keep in mind. Hope you guys appreciate what I go through for the information for this site. It just proves how much I appreciate it and enjoy it. I mean, I just told everybody that I made a mistake, so you know, it just happens from time to time. But in this area, in any area where there's a lot of tourism, expect that you'll get stopped or asked about your documentation. So make sure you have it on you. It's very important. And then also with that, you know, if you're going into Puerto Montt and you're doing other things, or if you need help from offices, it's always good to have your documentation, because it'll be very valuable when you need help or if there's an emergency or anything like that. But do keep it safe, you know, and make sure that it's easily accessible to you, which means you know exactly where it's at in your pack or whatever, but that it's hidden far enough away or well enough that people won't know where it's at or easily steal it from you. So those are just a couple of suggestions and kind of let you know what's going on with that. And later we'll be talking about some other things. I'm going to get more into traveling here, what you need to get here, also what you can do about money and things, because those are always concerns and always interest to people. Also, I'm going to try to cover a little bit about food, because food is something that's heavy to carry with you if you're traveling, and you need to know what's available to you to buy here and where you can get it and that kind of stuff. So those are all things that I'm going to keep kind of go over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully it'll help you out, and hopefully you guys will continue to look for the deals that I'm putting up on Twitter and my site and Facebook, and then also keep stopping by for extra information so that we can continue to have progressive movement here on Jimandis, and hopefully it'll be something that helps you guys out in the future. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, bye.